find yourself reminiscing on your college days, high school days, or even your memories as a child. If you're human and you've had fairly good experiences growing up, then it's likely you've experienced this on a frequent basis. No matter how good you may have it now, revisiting old memories is bound to bring you those warm, comforting, and sentimental feelings that'll make you long for the good old days, as they say. You're given a glimpse of simpler times, and it's very likely that as a child, or as a young adult in college even, you were much more carefree and oblivious to the horrors of adulting and the real world, so to speak. Which is also often why these emotions are a lot more potent among people in their 20s and 30s. These are often more transitional phases in a person's life, but I'll get more into that later on. So interestingly enough, the word nostalgia actually has its roots in Greek, the word nostos meaning to return home, and algos meaning pain. This refers to how saddening it often is to be unable to recover or return home to the past, which adds to its appeal and also explains why nostalgic feelings are often bittersweet, or even bring a tinge of sadness to know those days are far behind us. But it's not just this yearning for days past that strengthens nostalgia's grip on us. It's also been found to bring plenty of psychological benefits despite slight feelings of loss or even mourning. For one, it can increase your sense of social connectedness to others, because looking back on these memories can make you feel valued and loved, and boosts your perceptions of social support in times of loneliness. And in turn, this could lead to boosts in self-esteem or self-confidence. Basking in nostalgia has also been shown to inspire you or make you more optimistic about the future. But on top of all this, recalling these memories just feels good overall. I mean, you may miss them, but they still offer these soft, fuzzy feelings that can temporarily send you into this relaxed, calm, and peaceful emotional state. And it's exactly these feelings we get when we watch something, say an old cartoon straight out of our childhood. It's not so much the bizarre adventures of Dexter and Dee Dee that have us engaged, although the stories in the show are still pretty lit to this day, but more so our personal memories and associations attached to it. It's why we can also often overlook or forgive the flaws of the stuff that we watched back in the day. They may not be masterpieces, but we enjoy them anyway because of the sentimental value attached to it. And this ties into how nostalgia is significantly able to warp or distort our reality of the past, and instead becomes a sanitized, idealized version in our memory, which again adds to its appeal. Feeling nostalgic for the entertainment of our past can also offer an opportunity for self-reflection. It gives you a chance to look inward and examine the ways these movies or TV shows have carved or influenced your worldviews growing up. Nostalgia is therefore a pretty powerful force, and it's easy to see why Hollywood has pretty much grabbed it by the horns and sucked it dry. But despite the fact that these feelings are nothing new, it still seems like milking nostalgia seems to be a much more prevalent trend in this day and age. As written by Jake Rawson of Mental Floss, it's not like the 1970s were bountiful with reboots of I Love Lucy, Gunsmoke, or other material from the 1950s. What makes the 21st century unique in this regard? Why is a show's cancellation no longer a guarantee that it will never return? History professor David Gerber from the University of Buffalo pins this on the world's current phase of environmental and political upheaval. People are growing ever more concerned and aware of the planet and the societal issues within it, sparking this greater uptick in collective nostalgia. The longing for a supposedly happier, uncomplicated past, though I believe this also ties into the whole notion of ignorance is bliss. And on top of this, social media has made it a lot easier to share memories or artifacts of the past. There are literally Instagram accounts just dedicated to the aesthetics or TV shows or celebrity icons of the 90s. You can literally hop on YouTube and look up old McDonald's commercials or episodes of Ren and Stimpy. These highly accessible platforms make it so much easier to recall and reminisce on once forgotten events or media.